Hello friends! Today I'm making Belizean Johnny cakes and discussing some highlights of theater in Belize. It seems like most places have their own variation of Johnny cakes, so from what I could find in my research, this is the version that is made in Belize. Please note that I don't actually have access to a full kitchen setup, so I don't think I did this delicious dish justice, but I certainly did try my best. So without further ado, let's get this proverbial and literal gluten-free bread. You will need a pound of flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 cups of coconut milk, and half a cup of shortening, margarine, or butter. I'm using margarine for mine. I have almost everything pre-measured because I only have a tablespoon and teaspoon measuring cups, and no one wants to see me measure out 2 cups of coconut milk in tablespoons because that makes for a dry performance. First, place the dry ingredients, the flour, salt, sugar, and baking powder, in a bowl together and blend them. Add the margarine in the bowl and mix it together with your hands until it makes a soft, clumpy texture that is kind of like breadcrumbs. Then add in the coconut milk and gently knead that to make a dough. While I'm mixing that, let's talk about Belizean theater. The Belizean artistic renaissance happened in the 1970s, fueled by a group from the capital of Belize city known as the Square Peg Players, who were started by Raymond Gongora. Gongora was an actor and playwright known for his ability to use vernacular language eloquently in prose and drama. Square Peg Players helped turn theater into a main source of entertainment, alongside the radio, and featured many notable actors, including the actress Beverly Smith Lopez. Gongora was also an activist, using theater to challenge the political systems through his plays. Square Peg Players continues to this day to be a social, educational, and entertainment powerhouse. Raymond Gongora is still also alive today at the age of 73. Other notable playwrights include Evan X. Hyde and George Gabb. Both of them have work figured in Ping Wing Juk Me, 6 Belizean plays. This collection of 6 play scripts by 6 different authors was published in 1998 as part of the Belizean Writers series, an ongoing publication and literature preservation project started in 1995. The project is composed of play scripts, as well as other works of fiction, poetry, and folk tales written by many others. When the dough is done, roll out a strip of it like you're making a snake shape. Cut off pieces sized 1 or 2 inches. In theory, you should do all the dough at once, but I don't have enough space for that, so mini Johnny cakes it is. About this time, I realized I didn't have any spray to grease my pan with, so I ended up using a piece of butter. This is also the largest pan I have with me, so I ended up only being able to bake a maximum of like 8 at a time. I went down to preheat the dorm stove, realized all the dorm kitchens were locked, went on a bit of a wild goose chase, but thanks to the help of my friend Meg, I was finally able to access a stove. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees and then bake them for 10 to 15 minutes, or until they're golden brown. They didn't turn out quite as good as I would have liked, but they sure were edible. The recipe calls for them to be served with Dutch Gouda cheese, which does sound Gouda, but unfortunately I had none on hand. Instead, I had them with butter, and they were quite tasty that way too. Through this project, I did enjoy getting to try out a new recipe, exploring a bit of Belizean culture, and learning about Belizean theater.
I run around the convention floor for a while. What he didn't realize was one of the rooms that he got into was a ballroom that was having an event, and he scared one of the event staff like so badly that she dropped a whole tray of glasses. And he said he wanted a great character so badly and been down and help her pick everything up, but he couldn't, firstly because he was a velociraptor and he never break the velociraptor roll.
Oh, we've been recording